The entire internet is going crazy over nepo babies. Yeah, you heard that right. Nepo, short for nepotism, referring to the kids of celebrities who landed their own careers in the same industry of their parents. New York Magazine dubbing 2022 as the year of the nepo baby, saying she has her mother's eyes and agent. Ooh, slaying. But the nepo babies aren't happy about it. Kate Hudson, daughter of Goldie Hawn, says it's not fair for entertainment to be singled out. I see it in business way more than I see it in Hollywood. Sometimes I've been in business meetings where I'm like, whose child is this? Like, this person knows nothing. And Jamie Lee Curtis, daughter of Tony Curtis, and Janet Leigh calls herself OG Nepo baby, but says the discussion is trying to diminish her work. I guess my first question is, who has children in a business meeting? But I guess did I read that wrong?
She means like the CEO of the company is like basically has to be somebody's child because they're not competent.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing it up for me. Listen, nepotism's a real thing, but and we see it in all forms. We see it all the time, and we see bad versions of nepotism. Is it fair? Maybe not. For those of us who had to come from nothing to get where we are, yeah, you can see it. But here's the deal. I do have to say, even though if your parents' success put you in the position, it's up to you to make it. Yep. Because, you know, a perfect example, we see that with, I don't want to say it because Will Smith's having a bad year, but Will Smith's son's acting career didn't really take off like he thought it was going to. So we see examples of bad nepotism. Where are you on this?
Look,
a movie star?
Thank you very much. No, I think that obviously you have a benefit if one of your parents is a big star in Hollywood. They know the best people, they know which casting agencies to go to, they could get you a small role in a film that they're doing. However, like you said, being put in that role is different than succeeding. And I think a lot of these people who have famous parents, you know, Angelina Jolie, Miley Cyrus, I think they're actually a lot more successful and talented than their parents were. And so I think there's something to be said about parents making it and then passing down the fruits of their labor to their children, whether it's in a family business or whether it's in Hollywood. And I would also say that a lot of the time, the kids of these very famous people do not turn out well at all. And so if you can make, you know, be successful and talented in the industry, and the parents can, you know, bring you along to have a successful career, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you can prove yourself as well and make your own way eventually once you get that hand up.
Yeah, because, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is an institution and a franchise. I think she's far surpassed her father in terms of what she's done. I mean, Halloween, and then at one time she was like every poster, she was on every poster of every young man in America who was like, wow, she was it. So you have a little bit of celebrity and nine children. Yeah. Are you going to use nepotism, or is it going to be, because with me, it's like case by case. Like if they have to do the work to get the audition. Are you the same mindset?
I think it's natural. I think it's human to want to help your children. And I think, as you said, whether you have a construction business or a restaurant, we all want to help our kids be in that business. Kate Hudson actually said, you know, we're a family of storytellers. It's kind of in us. I mean, there is something about the arts. On the other hand, in the 1950s, 16% of people in the arts came from the working class. It's obvious the arts have always been for people from the upper classes. It's you have to have that kind of support system, you know, to get out. Now it's only 7%. So in defense of those who are trolling all these nepo babies, I will say the only thing I agree with them is that we don't want all of our stories, you know, in terms of movies and TV shows, to come from the perspective of the elite and the privileged. We do want those working class stories to come out because that is the true America. That said, everyone should want to help their kids. That's why we have them. Yeah.
You know, there's that famous rap, I can give it to you, but what you going to do with it? And that's kind of how I don't think these are good examples of nepotism because they've all been successful. Would you agree?
I tend to agree with that. Listen, I think nepotism exists everywhere. I think even when you go to the doctor's office and you ask your doctor, it's like, oh, my dad or my mom was a doctor. Yep. I mean, I think it's something that you see in every industry. And I think when you see it in Hollywood, it's oftentimes the folks that we're talking about are folks who their parents, they've also, either their parents are successful and they're also successful. The name that comes to mind for me is Diana Ross and her daughter Tracee Ellis Ross, who I would say at this point in time, they're sort of equal in their celebrity, right? Diana Ross is successful and her daughter's successful. So I think nepotism, to Rachel's point, is something where mom and dad did it and mom and dad decides to help child and child does it and child's successful. So goes it.
Well, okay, with your success and you're a celebrity now, would you, because I don't necessarily want my kids in entertainment. I don't necessarily want my kids to wrestle. I would like them to have a different path in mind. Where are you on that?
Yeah, it's number one, public figure maybe. Celebrity is a heavy word, but
You can look at your arms. You can carry it.
we'll take it. We'll take it. Listen, real quick, Kiefer Sutherland, Donald Sutherland. There's a lot of examples in Hollywood specifically of extremely talented people, but I'll give you one that hits closer to home. I started learning how to do this job, politics on TV, at 27 years old after 2 wars and a college education. Peter Ducey started learning to do this job at probably 3 years old, and he's one of the best ones doing it.
He's our very own.
There's a difference between putting somebody in a place and training them throughout their life to go get it. And I think nepotism has a lot of different meanings, and it's definitely not all bad.
No, yeah.
So Tyrus, I have a question for you on that. So how about if your kid wanted to be a producer? Would you allow that to happen?
If they, I have no control over that because I can't get
If
along
they
with
wanted to
producers.
be.
But if they did, yeah, go do it. As long as they did the work
you
and
help
they
them?
graduate. Yeah, I would help them. I would support them as long as I thought they were good at it. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.